Welcome to the Now. I'm Ashley.
I'm John.
And if there's anything we've learned about the internet in our long time living here, it's that it specializes in making snap judgments about something before the end product is anywhere near finished.
That's the best time to do it. It's before anybody else has said it.
Right.
Like, say, a teaser trailer that really only reveals who is playing a particular beloved sci-fi character. We're not naming anything in particular here.
Not yet,
General
at
speaking.
Least. That's more than enough to know all that we need to know.
Yep.
We know everything. So this time it is, you may have guessed if you've been around, TV series Doctor Who. It's been in the middle of yet another online discussion about political correctness thanks to a major announcement made this weekend, because for the first time in its very long storied history, the show's titular doctor is now being played by someone with tits.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. It's also a woman. And right on cue, the internet, they had to get their panic on. Now we've got people writing harshly worded all caps tweets on both sides of the issue.
You don't want an all caps tweet.
I wrote a somewhat caps tweet, but it was just a couple of words to bolden them. But they're all arguing about whether it's okay for Dr. 13 not to have a penis. Why is this anatomical?
Guys, come on. Look, we've got new season Game of Thrones to talk about from this weekend. There are bigger matters here.
The doctor has two hearts. Have we confirmed he has a penis?
I mean, it's sexually functional, I believe.
Okay, interesting.
So,
Never knew.
yes.
The reveal of Doctor Who's new Doctor happened yesterday, following a couple of days of teasing that an announcement for the new Doctor was on its way. The BBC made good on their promise by delivering a new teaser trailer, which unveiled that the show's time-traveling main character will be played by actress Jodie Whittaker for the upcoming season.
Now, considering the show's technically been on the air for 36 seasons across 5 decades and has had 12 separate Doctors, it's always a really big deal every time the franchise's successor is announced. But the fact that all previous Doctors have been played by men makes this occasion more of a big deal for a lot of fans. It's a pretty huge break from tradition.
Yeah, if you're new to the wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff,
Aww.
oh, I remember that, of Doctor Who, then you might be unaware of how this all works and why the show is able to refresh the appearance of its lead so often. Because surprisingly enough, it does actually fit into the lore the series has established, unlike, I guess, James Bond, where they're like, new Bond!
Just cuz.
Just cuz the old one got old.
No, this one's all worked into it. There's actually a whole mess of time-traveling shenanigans we don't need to recap here, but the basic gist is that the Doctor is a time-traveling doer of justice who happens to be an alien known as a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey.
Yeah, one of the unique aspects of the Time Lords is that they have the power to regenerate if their bodies are mortally wounded. It's kind of a cheap gag and basically makes the Doctor invincible, but whatever, sci-fi doesn't have to make sense, right? He can just do whatever he wants.
I mean, look at the, the face of Bo, the last human, moisturized me. Every now and again, the Doctor does get into mortal peril though, and the regeneration changes his appearance, and even the tics in his personality change to a certain degree. He still remembers everything, but he is, for all intents and purposes, a new person, new personality, everything.
And this time it's gonna be all about that shopping and boys and doing her nails, right?
Well,
stereotypes!
Look, here's the thing though, it's like that seems to be the reaction of a lot of people, according to the internet, who think that that's what we're all about. Like, suddenly you get tits and you just go shopping.
Did you just send your tits out in opposite directions?
I did. Look, it turns out we're all fembots.
Okay.
And I was just aiming, okay? Seriously, thousands of commenters have been throwing out words like ruined and RIP in regards to the Doctor 13 announcement.
Yeah, Twitter reactions were certainly all over the place, from the anti-Doctor 13 standpoint, with users saying they'd stopped watching the show and that the showrunners were caving into pressure to be more politically correct.
They kind of, though, there was also an outrage when they announced Peter Capaldi, because all these new viewers had come in during the heartthrob era, where, well, you had David Tennant immediately followed by Matt Smith, and they were both younger Doctors than usual, and even before that, Christopher Eccleston was also a lot younger than traditional Doctors had been. So it's just this era of getting new, like, younger girls and being like, oh, and then they cast Peter Capaldi, who's more in the traditional age range for the Doctor, and it was like, I'm gonna stop watching it now, it's got old. So it's not the first time this has happened when we've gotten a new Doctor. But it wasn't at all uncommon in this case to see tweets like, imagine one of your favorite shows, but with someone of the opposite gender playing your favorite characters. Hell. Did you write that? Sounds awful.
What if they swapped the genders of all the Friends characters? It'd still be a good show. Another Twitter user wrote, giving in to pressure, Doctor Who is a man like Superman and Spider-Man.
Right, because we've definitely never had a Spider-Gwen or a Supergirl.
Dr. Man, that's his name.
Yeah.
Can't change it.
Then, of course, there were the complaints about tradition, which actually I do understand if you've been with this character over 36 seasons. Some were saying tradition has been shattered. Next, James Bond to be a woman. Political correctness gone mad. Doctor Who will be missed. Hashtag Doctor Who. Hashtag Doctor 13.
Others expressed their wish for the new Doctor's casting to fail. PC and feminism, pandering, ruining another great show. If they want a female character, get another good companion like they have many times before. Hopefully she and Moffat are gone by this time next year.
Well, I mean, it goes on like that, but yeah, Moffat is going to be gone. They're getting a new showrunner. That's kind of the point. Of course, there were lots of positive reactions to the news as well, with a lot of fans showing support for the decision. Generally, their defense of it is along the lines of, if you can accept time travel and space robots, you can accept a gender swap.
Yeah. The Surrey police decided to poke the bear just a tad with a cheeky tweet of their own. We're really not sure about the fuss with hashtag 13th Doctor. We've employed women in our police boxes since 1918. That's cool, I like that.
While people are throwing out a bunch of accusations about political correctness and the pressure to do, the pressure for the last couple years has been, we'd love to see a female doctor, we'd love to see a black doctor. But it should be noted that the idea of a female doctor has actually been around for a really long time, longer than many may think. They've been teasing this for years now.
Yeah, some have pointed out that seeing a woman take command of the TARDIS was always a possibility down the line based on quotes from the show's original creator, Sidney Newman. Back in 1986, Newman implored the BBC in a letter to consider having the Doctor regenerate into a woman at some point in the series' future.
Wish granted. And within the series itself, they've dropped a lot of references to this being a possibility as well. Back in the 2011 episode, The Doctor's Wife, the Doctor references fellow Time Lord, the Corsair, as being both male and female, indicating that regeneration, gender switching, totally a thing.
Yeah. Then the show double confirmed it when longtime series adversary The Master regenerated into a woman back in 2014. She's Missy now.
Also, one of the very first lines out of Matt Smith's mouth was he thought he was a woman because he had long hair, and then was like, oh, still not a ginger. So we also haven't had one of those yet.
Yeah, everyone's going on about that.
Any day now. And if you're wondering how the new Doctor feels about all this attention being spent on the Doctor's gender flip, well, she's had some words to say over the weekend as well.
Whitaker said, the fans have lived through so many changes, and this is only a new, different one, not a fearful one.
And given the nature of Doctor Who, we're looking at a show that's gonna see way more change down the line, despite all this brouhaha over the latest Doctor. It's also important to remember that there are always extreme reactions about every new Doctor, no matter who's playing them. So the ridiculous reactions, they're really, honestly, just a part of the world of the wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey tradition. They're also tradition. I'm excited about it. Like, how do you feel about it? Do you care?
I liked her hoodie.
It was a cool hoodie, right?
I'm
excited
hoodie.
Not because I'm like, oh, finally a woman's perspective, because there are women on the show constantly, and oddly enough, they're always portrayed as smarter than the Doctor.
Yeah.
And having more common sense. I like it because I think it's gonna bring a whole new dynamic. We got a new showrunner. We got a super different Doctor that's gonna be just like a nice shock to the show. Plus, we always have more companions than we have doctors, so it'll, if anything, actually have more dudes on the show. And
I want 2 soft boy companions.
2 soft boys. All right, we'll see what we can do. I'll get right on that with the BBC.
Yeah, what do you guys think of the internet freaking out about the new 13th Doctor? Let us know in the comments. Be nice.
Well, be respectful.
There you go.
For future updates on which fandom's gonna freak out next about whatever casting decision gets made, remember to like this video and subscribe to The Know. Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley.
I'm John.
And if there's anything we've learned about the internet during our long time living here, we're trapped, please send help.
We live in the internet.
It's that it specializes in making snap judgments about something before the end product is anywhere near finished. Like, why would you wait to judge a thing, right?
I judge immediately. It's so